I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. This is Movement Fix Monday. What I want to talk to you about in this video is the basics of stretching the lats. So we're going to talk about where the lats attach in the shoulder, where they attach in the low back, and how we can use that to stretch them, and stretching them however you want to stretch. There's a million ways to stretch. There's a million ways to use different techniques for stretching. What I want to show you is more the anatomy and why you would set up the stretch a particular way. So I have a red band instead of a green one because red looks more like muscle, I guess. So we're using the red one. And I have my spine and I have a shoulder model. And so if you were to think about the anatomy of the lats as they attach into the spine, just think of it as broadly attaching into the low back, and then it'll go up like this into the shoulder. So in the shoulder side, if this was me standing here like this, the lats are going to go under your arm like this and sort of attach on the front of your humerus, your arm bone. So the implication of that is if you were to turn your arm inward, that would make the lats slack. And if you were to turn your arm into external rotation, that pulls this connection point this way, and so it becomes tighter. So like, for example, if you were to do a chin-up, it's going to be more tight on your lats than if you do a regular pull-up because of how this would attach here and be rotated to stretch or rotated this way and slackened. Similar, the way it attaches in the low back, if you were thinking about stretching between those 2 points, and maybe we could just show this on the floor to make it easiest. So if you were to think about it going essentially like this, and let's say the end of the muscle's right here. Let's say it was like this. If you were to take your low back and arch it this way, that's going to slack the lats. And if you were to side bend this way, that's also going to slack it. And if you were to bend it this way, that would make the lats tighter because it's pulling that way. And then if you were to round, that would also tighten the lats. So if you combine that, because if you're going to try to stretch the lats, what you don't want to do is not stretch the lats. And what I mean by that is if you don't understand the anatomy, you may just be stretching your shoulder into its end range of motion without actually getting your lats being the thing limiting the range of motion, so you're not actually stretching your lats. So if you were to stretch your lats, what you're going to do is you want to rotate your arm this way to tighten it from the top. You want to round your back and side bend away to tighten it from the bottom. So it would look like this if you were just to do a basic lat stretch. Again, we're not talking about specific techniques and how to integrate that with other things. I've made plenty of other videos, but here's what I would do. I would take a bar like this, go underhand on the bar, so that's going to tighten it from the top, round my lower back to tighten it from the bottom, and then side bend away as my back is rounded. And I like to set it up here so that I can kind of push with this arm into the riser. But if I wanted to make this not a lat stretch, you can arch your back like this and you'll immediately feel it go off of tension because the lat literally attaches your humerus into your low back. So if you change your low back position, I'm completely off lat tension. I don't feel it anymore. Now I feel tons of lat tension. If I were to side bend this way, I don't feel any lat tension. Side bend this way and round, I feel a ton. If I go this way, a lot of people will get more pinching in their shoulder at the top as the limitation versus stretching because you're going completely off muscular tension, and so the muscle isn't the limitation to the range of motion. So if you know a little bit about anatomy of the lats, then you can understand the implication of the low back and arm position. That'll help you get a better lat stretch and then use whatever technique you want to use, or now you'll understand why I use certain techniques for lat stretching in videos like a better way to stretch your lats, etc. So that's what I got for you guys this week on Movement Fix Monday. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, you can find me at The Movement Fix. I'll see you next week.